You cannot serve God and man, or mammon, basically materialism. Now what is he talking about here? It does not mean you cannot have two jobs. It does not mean you cannot have two bosses. What he's talking about is working at cross purposes. This is one of the most incredible statements you will ever find on the idea of being singular in your focus. Most people are not successful because they work at cross purposes. And he is saying you cannot do that. You cannot serve two masters. Let me give you some examples. Every one of these I've seen before. And I'm not making fun of them. I'm just saying they're working at cross purposes. I've seen people go to a gym and work out, or they run, and they'll run several miles, and when they stop and rest, they light up a cigarette. Do you not understand that's working at cross purposes? You spend part of your time trying to get in shape, and then you spend the other part of your time doing one of the most unhealthy things you can do. That's the idea of cross purposes. Every one of you get up 3 to 4 days a week, take your morning, and you come in here with the idea to get an education, and you sleep in class. That's the idea of cross purposes. You can never be successful if you cannot learn how to singularly focus on what is important to you in life. That's what he's talking about. You cannot have two masters. You cannot work at things and cross-purpose such things and expect to be successful in life. You have to be able to put aside, to lay aside, to sacrifice the things that keep you from being and doing what you want to do. You just can't be in great shape and smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day. You can't be in great shape and get drunk twice a week. You can't be in great shape and sit on the couch and eat Fritos and drink beer 5 nights a week. You cannot get an education, an excellent education, by coming in here. I don't care if you have perfect attendance. If you come in here and sleep, you're not going to get a good or excellent education. It is just working at cross purposes. Now, the way he uses it here is, once again, in a spiritual context, because that is the most important thing of all. Do not live your life thinking that I am serving God while you go out in your life and do all sorts of things, practice all sorts of things, have all sorts of habits, have all sorts of attitudes that would not be pleasing to God. You can't live both lives. Because what you will wind up doing is hating one. I know people that have been made to go to church, they've been made to do this, they've been made to do that, and that's just not the light in their life, and they wind up hating God because they want to go out and live their life like they want to live. And he's basically saying, if that's where you are, forget about God. Go live your life like you want to live. But don't pretend to be one of God's children and then do everything that is against the way that he says to live. You cannot serve God and the world.